Hello everybody, Average Gamer here, and welcome to the next episode of Mechs. So in this episode, we have another Tier 4 light. The next one on our list, the Huginn, the Raven-Huginn. Actually, I'm going to let you take a look at it here. So this is what she looks like now. My headset's also not plugged in. There we go. So this is the Raven-Huginn. Nice little machine gun mounts and missile mounts and all that stuff. So what do you want to do in this case to quote-unquote meta this guy right here? Well, the meta for the Huginn is all based around the missile quirks and armor. So in this case, if we bring up the mech stats here, we're going to look at the quirks. So right now the quirks for the Raven, there's a lot of structure quirks, but what we're looking at specifically is the missile range of 20%, the missile cooldown of 20%, the missile velocity of plus 10%, and the missile heat gen of minus 15. Now, a couple things you can do. Number one, you can do 2 SRM force, because you get that extra little cooldown. So your cooldown goes from 20 to 25, or you can go for more of a punch with SRM 6s. So right now, you're going to look, right? Our firepower is 35.9, and our speed is 129.6. Jump distance is 14.8. Couple things that's going to happen. Number one, we're pretty much going to remove all our machine guns and pretty much up our damage ability. That's one. Number two, we're going to give ourselves Artemis. Number three, we're obviously going to tweak our armor. And number four, we're going to give ourselves a significant number of ammo so we can get in there and cause some damage. So as per usual, first thing we're going to do is change up the armor. And in this case, we're going to strip the armor off both arms. Now, you're probably saying to yourself, well, why? If I can use these as, as blocks, I can use them for, for damage dealing. I can do a lot of things with these things. That is true. And if you lose an arm, and someone shoots into that little slot there where the arm is connected to the torso, it does internal damage to said locations. Now, we're not going to worry too much about that because as a light mech, our theory is, and the plan with this thing is to get in, deal your damage, and then GTFO, get the fuck out. That's the plan. So first thing, we're going to give ourselves Artemis, and we're going to strip the machine guns off. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, usually at this point, you strip out a few other things too. You strip out the engine. In this episode, we're actually going to keep the engine. We're going to keep the same engine. We're not going to do much to the engine, actually. We're going to keep the same amount of heat sinks because we don't need any more heat sinks. As you can see, we already have our minimum 10 in the XL280, so we're good there. So what we're going to do is we're going to put on 2 Streak 6s. So right there, yeah, as you can see, our firepower is less, but we're going to have more sustainability. We're going to have more of a punch, a clustered punch. We're going to be able to get in, get out, and our weapons are going to be more effective. Firepower not as high, but they're going to be more effective. Mainly because of those missile quirks being mentioned at the beginning. We're also going to make sure that we can still jump around like crazy by me pressing the right button. We're going to put jump jets in the legs. Kabunk and kabunk. And then we're going to put some ammo in the legs as well. Now, a lot of people shoot for the legs with a lot of these mechs. So you have to be a little careful. We're going to obviously tweak the armor as well in the torsos here. 6 and 6. I want 26 in other torso because we have that XL. We're going to strip the tonnage in the head here a little bit because if you look, we have 34.2. We're going to bring this down to 34 so we can put one more ton in. I think we want this down to 7. Yeah, 7. And then one more ton of ammo in our head. So we minimized and slash maximized our tonnage. You'll notice because of the bug, it's at 34.9. You can do a couple things with this extra tonnage. One, put it in your head if you want, and then put an extra one in your torso, which isn't too bad. We've maxed out the our stuff in our legs and our arms, or our torsos. So there you go. Sometimes you'll end up at 35 tons exactly. Sometimes you'll end up at 34.9. That way you can use up those two extra tons. Now, theoretically, another thing we'd want to do is move this up to 38 actually. So you know what? Let's move that down and move that over there. So there we go. So 35 tons exactly. So we have no armor in the arms. So basically you're going to be using, we're going to bring over here to the column. You're going to be using this little ear here and this little Mickey Mouse ear there basically as fodder, basically. As you go running into someone, you're going to be twisting and turning, aiming at them, shooting, twisting, turning, and then bugging out. The plan with this thing, I have one. What I usually do is I run in as fast as I can, hit the person with the high enough alpha as I can, and then book it. All in one shot, one clean pass. Basically, they see this, then they see this, and then they see that. And that's it. One of the things you don't want, obviously, is the enemy to see this. If they can see that shiny little, that shiny little ass of yours, I can say black ass, that little shiny ass of yours, you're in a massive amount of trouble. So you always want them to see your side or your front. Your little, it's one of those things where this thing is a little bit of a, can at times be a little bit of a glass cannon. If you go after any heavies that are optimized or any assaults that are optimized, unless their attention is being taken by someone else. If their attention is being taken by somebody else, get in behind them and just let loose. Now, you can also offset the mech a little bit. If we go into expanded mode here for a second, now you can see here, you can actually run up to an XL300. If you were to drop these SRM6s, say for example, down to 4s, so you lose a little bit of that firepower. 4 and SRM4. Let me go to what engine. So we can put in the XL300. Bring that up. Boom. So we have 34.5 tons. We have we have half a ton free. And we have, obviously those 2 heat sinks. Now, we're also going significantly wait, is that the max tonnage? Yeah, it is the max tonnage. So we're going still a little faster, which isn't too bad. My only issue is that you have to downgrade your firepower, right? So I can throw in, an extra half ton of ammo, I don't know, say there, for example. Or, if I don't want to throw in the extra half ton of ammo, I can tweak my armor a little bit, throw some extra armor in my arms, give this thing a little bit more sustainability. You're going a little faster, so you're going to be harder to hit. So yeah, you know what? Screw it, why not? Put 10 armor. I think you probably go to 10 armor, right? Oh, 8. Yeah, 9. There you go. Throw 9 armor into either arm. So now you're going a little faster. You got smaller weapons, yeah, but with the Artemis, you're still clustered a lot better. You can still do a significant amount of damage in hitting and running. Not the optimized build for faction warfare. I'm going to be doing faction warfare and all that stuff in a completely different set of videos. But quick play, really good in quick play, especially if you can get around the side with someone with ECM and kind of run with them. Like an Arctic cheater or someone, get someone that you got the same speed with and you're working together in a group. You can get in, you can do, flanks really good. Get in, do your spotting, get your assists, get your spotting assists, your UAVs up, your early strikes, your air strikes out. And on top of everything, be able to swing around and hit people from behind. In quick play, I'd say on this current tier, tier 4, go for people's legs. People really don't tweak much armor in quick play on the lower tiers. So go for the legs. Go for everyone's legs in tier 4 and tier 5 if you're in it. Because it almost has as much armor as torsos, pretty much. People really don't tweak their armor in the lower tiers, but once you get the higher tiers, everyone pretty much front loads their armor. They always want to be facing their enemy, which always leaves that pesky little light to swing around the sides and really do some damage and get some kills. That's why everyone hates Artichitas and commandos and Ravens and Jenners in the high tiers, because if they get around behind you, you're fucked. But anyways, thanks for watching. This is the RavenHuginn, the meta. See you guys next time. Bye-bye.